Does President Obama's administration have a plan to give illegal immigrants backdoor amnesty? Now, Republican Senator Chuck Grassley's office obtained a leaked memo, and it is sending shockwaves throughout Washington. Earlier, Senator Grassley went on the record. I want to talk to you because you have gotten a memo called the Administrative Alternatives Comprehensive Immigration Reform. Yeah. What is this memo, and where did you get it?
It was leaked to us from presumably somebody in the Department of Homeland Security. I don't know who, and I get a lot of leaked stuff, so that's not an issue. The substance of it is the most important thing. People would say, well, it's a draft, but people don't spend that time writing drafts. Somebody told them to write a draft. What can we do to legalize a lot of undocumented workers that are here? Because Congress isn't going to pass a law with amnesty. So it's an end run on, your interpretation is it's sort of an end run on Congress in terms of offering... Of course it's an end run on Congress, because this administration is getting a lot of pressure from advocacy groups for undocumented workers who would like to have those people legalized, and they can't get a bill through Congress because the Democrats can't introduce a bill that doesn't have amnesty in it, and Republicans are not going to vote for amnesty because we tried amnesty 20 years ago when we only had 3 million people here, and we found out that you reward illegality and you get more of it, so now we have 12 million undocumented workers here. So what they want to do is try to see what they can get done administratively, and this memo lays out what you can do and what maybe you can't do. The point is, everything that can be done now for the president to legalize people can be done, and it has been done for many, many years, but it's been done on a case-by-case basis. And we see this as a memo. In fact, the memo is pretty clear in one place that we can do it more aggressively. In other words, more people could be legalized.
So do you believe the president wants amnesty? Is that your viewpoint?
The White House is going to say we don't want amnesty, but you know what they say they want? They want earned citizenship. And earned citizenship is just code word for amnesty, because it's basically saying that people that broke our law, crossed our borders, came here illegally, we're going to say that's okay, just like we did back in 1986. But you know, it's just like we didn't learn any lessons from 1986. 1986, we legalized 3 million people. If you learn from that, it doesn't work. You got 12 million person problem now.
All right, so once you got this memo leaked to you with what you see as sort of an end run on Congress on this immigration by the administration, what did you do?
Okay, well, first, before we actually got the memo leaked to us, we wrote a letter to the president saying we heard rumors you might be thinking about this. We never got an answer to that letter back in June, I believe.
Just blew you off.
Okay. Then in July, we wrote to the Department of Homeland Security that we want to have some idea of what's the numbers that you have done already for parolees, let's say, as an example. We want numbers on what steps you've taken to legalize people under existing law, even prior to the motivation for this memo. How much have you done already? Because we ought to know that. And some of that may be perfectly legitimate, but a massive amount of it, just to get around Congress, end run Congress, would be very, very wrong. It'd be a violation of the separation of powers between the executive branch and the legislative branch. Anyway, then we have not heard an answer to the letter from Homeland Security. So then today, several of us wrote to Chairman Leahy, we need a hearing on this memo. We want the Department of Homeland Security Secretary to come in. We want the people that do immigration to come in, and we want the people that wrote this memo to come in and have a hearing so we can find out what the motivation is behind this memo.
All right, so you didn't get an answer to your letter. The first one was to the White House?
No.
First one was to where?
To the White House.
Okay.
No
Second,
answer.
no answer.
No answer from Homeland Security yet.
And then today, obviously, you got your letter to Senator Leahy. You don't expect an answer today?
No.
Do you expect he will answer you?
I hope so, and I hope you'll have a hearing. Now, may not be able to have it now that the summer break's coming up, but we get to have it in September. We need to get to the bottom. If congressional oversight means anything, if checks and balances system of government, where we check the executive branch of government to make sure the laws are faithfully followed, and there's an end run around Congress not passing an immigration bill, we ought to know about that.
Now, it's a draft memo. Do you think that it's just simply it was just someone's sort of random idea, or do you think this was sort of a sneaky, deliberate effort to try to get something done?
I think it's sneaky, deliberate effort to get something done. So they say it's just a draft. That doesn't mean anything. Well, you know the bureaucracy. If this is a very detailed memo. You put lawyers on writing a memo like that. Somebody had something in mind when they said write that memo. And I think it's just trying to avoid the issue by saying it's a draft memo.
Do you have any doubt of its authenticity?
Nobody's questioned its authenticity. Even the people in the Department of Homeland Security, even the people in the White House have not questioned that. All they've tried to do is divert attention and say it's quote unquote a draft memo.
So they haven't said to you, Senator, we don't know where you got, someone just made that up and sent it to you, and that's...
No.
So this is the real McCoy, this memo?
Yes, it came over the transit from somebody that wanted Congress to know what was going on in the executive branch. You can call them whistleblowers, you can call them whatever you want to. I don't know who they are, but the point is that a lot of information that Congress gets to do its constitutional job of oversight comes from sources like that, and it's a doggone good thing it does, because it gives us an opportunity to preempt what Congress is, in a devious way, the executive branch is trying to get around Congress.
You use the term parolee. In terms of immigration, parolee is different than the criminal system, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that just so the viewers understand that.
Okay. Well, it's my understanding that parole is most often used on a case-by-case basis when somebody's outside the country and there's a reason to bring them to the country and bring them here illegally. That would be a parole. Now this memo seems to indicate that we can use a more aggressive parole system for people that are here illegally to make them legal.
So do you think you'll get the hearing?
I sure hope so. I know that Chairman Leahy is very fair about considering requests from me. I've always had a good working relationship with him. Now he could say no, but then that also raises questions about whether or not he might be wanting to protect the administration. And I don't think he's that type of a person. I think he always wants to get to the bottom of things.
Senator, thank you. And I understand before I go, you get lots of visitors to the great state of Iowa these days.
We sure do. You know, there's a lot of people already starting the campaign for president that officially won't start until November the 3rd.
But tourism is good. Tourism among Republicans is good in Iowa right now.
If you come out there and follow them around, spend a lot of money, will you please?
I will indeed. Thank you, sir.
You bet.